YouTube. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. I am Lizzie and I am the Discount Vegan in case you are new here. I make budget-friendly recipes and teach you how to garden even in the smallest spaces so that you can save money on what you eat so you can spend it or save it somewhere else. So if that sounds good to you, click the subscribe button if you're not already. And don't forget about the bell because it does notify you when I have new videos. And today is a follow me around what I eat in a day kind of thing. So while I finish off my morning water, I am putting my dishes away and going to do some more dishes because when you do recipes for a living, dishes come along with it. So cheers and let's get our day started. so now that that's done, it's time to think about lunch. And I think I'm gonna use some leftover Alfredo sauce that I have and make some pasta. Yeah, that sounds good. Fill up the pot. Put this back here for now. Some salt in the pasta water. And now to decide whether I want spaghetti, noodles, or something else. I think I'm gonna go with something else. So let's actually put these away. Do some routine noodles. Get some more water. So, I think in my pasta, I'm gonna put some tomatoes because I grew them this year and I have a lot right now. And then I'm gonna use the other half of this onion. And of course, black olives. So, waiting for that to boil. Take these out and put the rest away. This isn't particularly the greatest knife, but it does all right. I'm also gonna get some frozen broccoli. Alright, so I'm actually gonna cook the onions, the broccoli, and the pasta together. Boil. Let's move you a little closer. know about you, but I put tomatoes in my stock box, including the stems, because I grew them. So now we just wait for the water to boil. Okay, now that that is boiling, I'll throw this in first, actually, without trying to burn myself. Looking like a little splashback. That's fine. Anyway. Now let's stir it up and wait again. Okay. Perfect. Finally. So let's dump this out. Always happens. Always fog glasses. Oh, that's good. You can actually find this Alfredo sauce already up. I'll leave a link to the recipe and to the video as well. It wasn't as much as I remember. So it won't be super creamy, but that's okay. And then let's put olives and the tomatoes in. Mix that all up. Add a little extra salt. And that's it. Let's plate up. And I'm actually going to spice mine up with a little sriracha. And there you have it. Lunch slash breakfast, technically. Okay, so the main of my day is done. So now it's dinner time, one of the last meals of the day. I'm trying to stop snacking after like 7, 8 o'clock at night. It's not working, but I'm trying. Either way, I've decided tonight I am going to make nachos for dinner. And I thought I would share with you my veggie ground sort of style meat that I love to make for it. So this is the recipe of the day. I'm going to use TVP, and I'm just boiling some water now, and I'm going to rehydrate the TVP. I'm just gonna add a little salt to that because I won't be adding it after, so. And then from there, we'll rehydrate this, and I'll show you how I make my veggie ground for my nachos, and kind of like anything else. So give me a minute and let this boil. Okay, and now, through the magic of TV, YouTube, whatever you want to call it, I now have boiling water. So we're going to take that off, put the TVP in. If you haven't seen this yet, I have a video on how to rehydrate it. I also have a TVP burger as well. So just throw that in. I don't sift mine. I know there's gonna be granules in there, but that's okay. And then we stir. Might have put too much water in. Let's see. And then for my nachos, I obviously have my nacho chips. These are just a basic corn tortilla. I have my salsa con queso as my cheese because I don't have any cheese. I have tomatoes, that's what they're called. Some sauteed slash caramelized onions, green pepper, and then I have my favorite, pickled jalapenos, black beans, and olives. Pretty simple, and of course, on the fly when I decided to make nachos tonight, I decided to make some tofu sour cream, so that's there as well. TVP in there. And this is all I'm using right now is the Bob's Red Mill. Just because that's all I can get at the moment. So until I can get back to bulk shopping, this is what I got. I'm not going to use all of this veggie ground. I'm going to leave some of it aside for probably another recipe. So let's see how much that makes, and I'll be right back. Okay, so there's still a little bit of water in this. Normally I wouldn't, but I'm going to use that to my advantage and start cooking in my ingredients. See what I mean? That was very little going in, but it expands a lot. So I just put in a pat of butter, and you can't even see it. What am I talking about? So I've got a little bit of liquid that needs to burn off, but this is what it looks like. And then I'm just going to cook it up once the liquid is all burnt out. Okay, as you can see, pretty much everything is now evaporated out for the most part. Now I'm gonna add seasonings. So now that this is pretty much like cooked out, I'm just gonna turn it down a little bit while I add in my seasonings, which I think today, because of what we have going on, I'm going to use some of my homemade chili powder that's almost gone. That's about a tablespoon and a half. But I usually put in probably about 2 tablespoons. This doesn't really like darken it a whole lot, so I am currently working on a sort of like a bacon seasoning. So far I'm really impressed with it, but I still want to work on it a little bit more before I share it with you guys. If you ever find yourself like kind of overfilling your pan, the best thing to do is kind of like push it out to the sides, because the sides don't get as much heat, and then just work in sections and cook it in sections, and then push it back out and move on to the next section. I'm constantly overfilling my pans with stuff when I'm cooking, so I learned this the hard way. Just gonna put like a pinch of salt in. I don't tend to put a whole lot of salt in my chili seasoning. I like it spicy as well, as you can tell. Okay. If you want it a little bit more dehydrated than what I have it, I don't recommend continuing in the pan. I recommend putting it on a cookie sheet and going from there. So now that that's done, put this away. And we will get out the sheet pan so that we can make our nachos. Stowaway. There we go. So I'm just using the Old Dutch restaurant style deli rounds. I don't know why they're deli rounds, but whatever. Now that that's out, take a chip. And start layering the nachos. Okay. So some meat on. Some veggie meat for those who like specifics. The vegan salsa con queso. Leave a little left over to top it with. Then I'm going in with my black beans, and black olives, and my pickled jalapenos, cause yum. Oh my goodness. My mouth is already watering. I love nachos. Next, we're gonna put on the onions. I actually cooked them with a different recipe, so they're a little solid, so to speak, right now, because they were cooked in butter, vegan butter. And now the bell pepper. Oh my god, this is gonna be so good. Oops, missed one. And tomato. Okay. And now we're gonna come back with some TV ground on top. Oops, there we go. And lastly, the rest of the cheese sauce. just as a little extra added bonus. Okay, and now what you want to do is turn your oven on nice and low. I'm gonna put mine at 275. Shape this a little flatter. And that's what it looks like. Oh yeah. So let's get it in the oven. And we'll keep an eye on it from there. So it doesn't take long because it's not like uber cheese. Woo! And that's what it comes out like. That is my dinner. Turn off the oven because I sometimes forget. And plate this bad boy up. I like to use a little flipper. Doesn't always work that well. And now I am going to add my sour cream. This one's a little thinner because I use silken tofu instead of my usual medium, but that's okay. Okay, so that was my what I eat in a day and my giant end of day poof. I hope you enjoyed seeing my lovely day put together into one tiny video. Thank you so much for watching. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, please click the like button. It would make me so happy. And if you haven't already, subscribe, click the bell to be notified. I now put out videos twice a week, and yeah, so every Wednesday, every Saturday. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.